When I first reached out to LPC, I was starting my small business. It was very small. It was just me, and I wanted to make sure that I am growing with no risk ahead. I have no legal background. I have a lot of different services. I deal with two different types of clients. Some of them are large corporations that I need to appear very presentable, very corporate-y, and I have small business clients that are nimble, almost like mom and pop. They need to understand what the contracts are saying. So I went to LPC and really hoping that they can come to me and prepare me with whatever comes ahead. Working with LPC was incredibly easy. They were not like any other law firms out there. I expected so much work. I expected me to having to tell them what we do, what does that mean? I don't expect them to understand my business inside and out, and I didn't have to do any of that. They came to the first meeting fully prepared. They looked at my website, they know exactly what I do. We have very complicated services. They even did research to understand what those services look like, so their terms and clause in the legal contract fully reflected that. It was amazing. I didn't have to do any hand-holding. So they actually knew that the type of clients we go after were quite diverse. So they went ahead without me having to ask them and thought about building two different versions. One for the big corporations and the other one for the small business. One was very corporate-y language, very buttoned up, made us look much larger than we looked. And the other one was very simple, almost like explaining law to a 7-year-old. I still to date have so many good positive feedback from my mom and pop clients and talking about your contract is one of the best we've seen. I understand exactly what you're asking of us, and I did not have to go hire a lawyer and trying to explain that. The contract was incredibly helpful to the business. We're in our year 3 now. I actually had quite a few incidents where I felt the drop in my heart. And I felt, oh my God, this is the point we're gonna go into litigation. This is the point we're gonna go into disputes. These are clients that may or may not be able to pay. And the contract really saved me. It saved the company. I did not have to go out and hire LPC again to go in there. I could just point at the language in the contract and said, here is what we have agreed on. Here's what that meant to our situation. And it was incredibly easy for the clients to understand and be able to navigate that situation. I'm very thankful to have this type of legal protection before I go into any situations with my clients. If you're in a similar situation like me and having a small business with no legal background, but still want to protect and not having any growth risks, I would highly recommend Lubin Pham Caplin. Starting this process with them early on, before we had lots of clients, was a really good investment. And just thinking back, I don't know how we would have done it without it. I would highly recommend anybody who's starting a small business do the same thing. It's a small investment up front that could save you thousands and millions down the road.